So once again, we head to another grid for what's our third of 5 main finals for round 3 of the season. Lucas Blanford and Lizzie Mentia rounding out the front row. Jared Fox-Whiteley and Melissa Adrian, row 2. Ben Adrian joined by Olivia Fabricius on row number 3. Row 4, it's Leon Barlow and Addison Smith. Row 5 completing the top 10, it's Lewis Goff and Harry Holland. Tyler Lee and Callum Foster complete the top 12. Jack Burgess will be on the inside of row number 7 alongside Daniel Parsons, with Michael Ambler, Ben Horner, Taylor Dixon and Zach Turner rounding out the 18-strong grid. So Blanford leading the standings. And out of all the races that he had up until this point, he had a clean sweep at the first round at fullback, 2 heat wins and a final victory in the final at Wilton Mill. It's been a different order, so to speak, but the likes of Lewis Goff and Jared Fox-Whiteley, who round out the top 3 in the championship, now know they've got a fight on their hands. They have to start fighting back. Lizzie Mentia, last year's champion in this class, knows that there is a lot more competition, and she has taken a heat victory today. So Melissa Adrian, Lizzie Mentia and also Lucas Blanford have all taken a heat victory. So the spoils have been split 3 ways. But at the end of this race, we will have a decided podium. And also we'll find out who will be leading the standings come the end of this race weekend here at Rowrah before we head to Lydd in 4 weeks' time for round 4 and effectively becoming the halfway point of the season. When I spoke with Matty Street earlier on this weekend, he said, can't believe that we've already got a quarter of the season away and done. And then when we get to June, he'll go like, I can't believe we're halfway. It'll be just as bad when he gets to the end of the season at Ella Park. He'll go, oh, I can't believe we're at the final round of the championship. That just goes to show how racing calendars do go so quickly by. And Sunbather, Elaine again saying, have it a good race, Callum Foster. Hayden Taylor just said, unlucky Jacob Dukes, better get him next time. You're probably right about that one. We'll see what happens at Lydd in 4 weeks. So the drivers will make their way around this circuit once again, 1,030 metres. And Claudia Bushby Racing giving Lucas Blanford a shout out saying, good luck, Lucas. Let's see how things transpire. It's Blanford and Mentia on the front row. Fox-Whiteley and Melissa Adrian, row 2. Ben Adrian and Oliver Fabricius, row 3. Then it's Leon Barlow, Addison Smith, Lewis Goff and Harry Holland into the tram lines. Revs rise, noise increases. Full start has been called. Another lap to get themselves steeled and ready for battling. And Emma, Harry Hurstgrover's mum, saying that spin on the first lap was a killer. Well done for the weekend and on to Lydd we go. Best motivational thought I could think of right about now. Well said, Emma. So we get ourselves ready once again for this race. 12 minutes plus an additional lap on the clock. 3 different winners from 3 different heats. Into the tram lines we go. Revs rise, noise increases. This time we're lights out on off and racing. Blandford leads them up the hill. Mentia down to second behind Jared Fox-Whiteley. And Fox-Whiteley nearly touching the back bumper of the number 59. Down they go. Ben Adrian was looking briefly up the inside, but through on his inside. That's Oliver Fabricius. There's Melissa Adrian trying to also get through. There's 48 to Ben Adrian. And Jared Fox-Whiteley has to avoid Fabricius up the inside. Burgess looking to make a move as well. Up from 13th. Looks to be roundabout at the bottom part of the top 12. Jared Fox-Whiteley on the inside. Oh, Fabricius round, and everyone's trying to avoid. Oh, my goodness. And there is Oliver Fabricius now at the back end of the field as Lucas Blandford is pulling away already. Mentia ahead of Jared Fox-Whiteley for second position. Ben Adrian chasing them down. Melissa Adrian rounds out the top 5. Lewis Goff now up into 6 ahead of Addison Smith. Now it's side by side between Mentia and Fox-Whiteley. Fox-Whiteley gets the jump and goes through into second position through the chicane. Blandford in clean air, 1 minute, 0.325 seconds, and now leads by nearly 2.3. Zach Turner in the number 99 in 15th position gets a warning. As there is Addison Smith gesticulating to the drivers behind. Oh! Ben Adrian up the inside, and there is the number 11. That's Tyler Lee beached on the outside of Iredale's. Manages, a lot of tyre smoke, and manages to get the wheels to keep on spinning and makes it back out on track. Lizzie Mentia getting a little bit compromised, and what they need to do is concentrate on driving, not signalling to each other saying, don't do that, please, or what on earth was that? They need to carry on with the racing in front of them, because Blandford is getting away, and by a considerable distance. 10 minutes to go, with 2 minutes down. Mentia now in third, ahead of Ben Adrian. Lewis Goff is still with them. Melissa Adrian is not too far away. Addison Smith is about a second adrift. But has got the likes of Harry Holland, Leon Barlow. There's, Jack Burgess has made some inroads at the moment. The youngster up into 10th position, trying to battle away with Callum Foster for the place. Lewis Goff keeping ahead of Ben Adrian now, as Adrian now drops to 4th position. And there is Jack Burgess going alongside with Callum Foster into the stewardesses. Burgess nice and neat and tidy. Foster having to wrestle with the cart, gets a little bit of a touch from Taylor Dixon, but manages to keep the cart well and truly planted. So Blandford leading the way. Last time around it was 2.8 seconds. He's in the low 60s already. He's into the 59s, 59.8s thereof. And between him and Jared Fox-Whiteley, gap is now 3.2 seconds. Lizzie Mentia rounds out the top 3. A further 2.1 seconds adrift. She's ahead of Lewis Goff. Ben Adrian. Now there's a little bit of a scramble behind. The likes of Oliver Fabricius, Ben Horner, Callum Foster and Taylor Dixon. Dixon rounding out the top 12 at the minute. There is Fabricius up the inside of Ben Horner for 14th place. Callum Foster, the next one up ahead. As we get into the last 8.5 minutes, still to go. Burgess gets passed by Zach Turner. That's for P10 on the road. And now that is Taylor Dixon up the inside of Burgess. Foster around the outside of Fabricius, going through into the Stewart S's. There's a big old train happening down from St John's through to Sunny Bend. But Blandford already again setting another fastest lap. 59.846 seconds. Fox-Whiteley second. Lizzie Mentia third. Lewis Goff and Ben Adrian still rounding out the top 5 places, as between Addison Smith and Harry Holland. There's an almighty ding-dong battle happening for P7. Better be careful, because Leon Barlow could catch them up, and he's only a second adrift. 7.5 minutes to go. And there's cheers for... bit of a squeeze there for Harry Holland, as Addison Smith tried to close the door heading into the stewardesses. A little bit of rubbings racing, but they do say the karting's a non-contact sport, and there's a little bit of assist from behind. Oh, dearie me. At least the bumper on the back of Addison Smith's cart is still in its standardised position where it should be. Oh, someone went all kinds of sideways. That was Oliver Fabricius going through St John's. There's Mencia battling away with Ben Adrian because Lewis Goff has managed to get past the number 50 for third place. Jared Fox-Whiteley at the meantime has managed to get the fastest lap off of Lucas Blanford. 59.823 seconds. 3.4 seconds separate first and second position as we're into 6.5 minutes remaining. Mencia trying to keep Ben Adrian at bay. There's Melissa Adrian, Heat 1 winner from earlier. Leon Barlow in 9th behind Harry Holland and Addison Smith. Addison Smith has managed to get away from Harry Holland as Jack Burgess trying to close in on Oliver Fabricius. There's Ben Horner, close for comfort, going through the stewardesses. There's Callum Foster and Fabricius a little bit trying to keep the cart under control, and Burgess trying to thread the eye of the needle to get past as we're into the halfway point of the race. Lucas Blanford again, fastest lap of the race, but then Jared Fox-Whiteley is trying to do his level best to keep going. And there is Burgess ahead of Ben Horner. So 5.5 minutes still to go. There's the number 11. That's Tyler Lee, who was beached on the inside of Iredale's, and he's going side by side, toe to toe with Callum Foster. Foster not giving him an inch, and nor is Tyler Lee able to take a mile until they go into Iredale's. The pair are still side by side. Foster runs wide, manages to keep it off the grass, and then just goes, come on, man, what was that? The amount of times I see those kind of gesticulations in karting, I think I lost count. 5.5 minutes still to go, and Blanford is controlling proceedings rather dominantly. He's on to lap number 8 as he fires his way through the chicane. 3.6 seconds ahead of Jared Fox-Whiteley, and Blanford in the meantime has taken back the fastest lap of the race. A little bit further behind, there's Leon Barlow in the number 42. He's now in 10th position behind Taylor Dixon, with the number 99 of Zach Turner trying to chase him down for that top 10 finish. There is Turner up the inside. Barlow gets the switch back, and Turner runs a little bit wide and even hits the little divot before the grass, going down into the short chute down into Iredale's. 4.5 minutes still to go. So 4 minutes and 30 still to play here in the Minimax final. We've got Honda up next, and following that up will be Junior Pro Kart to complete the racing order as things stand. As Addison Smith trying to get toe-to-toe with Melissa Adrian, and Melissa Adrian managing to keep ahead coming out of Paddock Bend. Into the chicane they go once again. All 18 drivers. Well, I think all 18 drivers, yes. Well, Tyler Lee might not be circulating anymore. The number 11 might have called it a day. It's not been an easy one for the number 11. First race season in the first racing season with the CKC. First race actually was at Fullbeck earlier on this year. Here's Jack Burgess trying to get on terms with Ben Horner. Up the inside goes the number 94 from Ashton Underline. Oh my goodness me, threading the eye of the needle were you, Ben Horner. That was close. Tyler Lee has got a warning as Addison Smith still trying to put the frighteners on Melissa Adrian, and it's not happening. Melissa Adrian is looking forward, trying to concentrate on those in front, which includes brother Ben, who's still close on the... Well, he's about a second adrift of Lizzie Mencia. But Blanford has kept his calm, kept his cool when he needed to the most, which is in the final. A bit run wide coming out of McRae's from Callum Foster in the number 69 from Clacton on C. So he's battling away with the likes of Jack Burgess and Ben Horner. They round out all three of them, from Horner to Burgess to Foster, ran out the top 15. Now, has there been a move made on Melissa Adrian? Yes, there has been, because Addison Smith is now through and up into 6th place. Blanford and Fox Whiteley trading fastest laps. That's more like it, boys. Let's see who's going to get the fastest lap of this race, shall we? Jared Fox Whiteley, 59.371, was last time around 0.014 seconds quicker than Lucas Blanford in terms of fastest lap bragging rights here in this race. Some more battles happening up and down the order. Harry Holland battling away with Melissa Adrian, and also the 43. There's Taylor Dixon. Taylor running in 9th place at the moment, with Zach Turner completing the top 10. That is, well, Oliver Fabricius is closing in on Leon Barlow for 11th in the meantime. So Tyler Lee, a little bit further back, probably the best part of nearly a lap behind the leaders. With 60 seconds on the clock, it has been a commanding race in the final. The minute he got himself onto pole position as Jared Fox Whiteley, fastest lap of anybody, 59.242 seconds from the 22, based out of Pontefract in West Yorkshire. Zach Turner, in the meantime, take a bow, fastest lap of anybody, 59.194 for the 99. Running in 10th position. It's getting a bit close between Melissa Adrian, Taylor Dixon, Harry Holland, Zach Turner. You could possibly add Leon Barlow to that mix very, very shortly, along with Oliver Fabricius. And there are Messrs. Barlow and Fabricius. Fabricius looking up the inside of Barlow, going through into the Stuart S's as we're on to the last 10 seconds. So keeping an eye on where Lucas Blanford is. He's about to cross the line now. Cart goes through with 4 on the clock remaining. And Jared Fox Whiteley has gone 2 1,000ths quicker than Lucas Blanford in terms of the fastest lap. Timer has hit 0. We've got a little bit of a scrap on our hands here. Taylor Dixon versus Melissa Adrian for 7th position, because Addison Smith has got past on the pair of them and has gotten clear. And everyone in the top 13 ahead of, apart from Leon Barlow on this particular lap, have gone sub 60 seconds. There is Ben Adrian closing in on Addison. Well, Addison Smith has got past Ben Adrian for position. So Addison Smith now up into P5. There's the number 77 of Harry Holland battling away with Melissa Adrian. That's for 8th on the road. But this time around, Lucas Blanford now on lap number 13 out of 14. About to get the last lap board. Blanford has been commanding this final, and he will keep a good haul of points going into round 4 of the championship in a month's time. Last lap board is out. Lizzie Mentia closed in on by Addison Smith, and Addison Smith last time around was nearly 0.2 of a second quicker, as there is Jared Fox Whiteley. There's our race leader, Lucas Blanford, the Team Hard Academy driver, running with the X-Kart crew. There's a very big announcement in the coming days. There's been teased on his social media platforms. He's going to make his way down the hill for the final time. Through St John's he goes. This and one more corner remains, and I know that his dad Addy will be absolutely jubilant, because Lucas Blanford, when it matters the most, comes out of the final corner. It's 3 finals in a row. Lucas Blanford wins again, this time here at Rowrah, ahead of Jared Fox Whiteley, who on the final lap of the race gets a 58.587 second lap time. Fastest lap for the number 22. Lewis Goff rounds out the top 3. Lizzie Mentia rounds out the top 4 ahead of Taylor Dixon, who completes the top 5. Ben Adrian and Melissa Adrian round out the top 7 ahead of Zach Turner. Harry Holland with Oliver Fabricius completing the top 10. Leon Barlow in 11th, 1.25 seconds adrift ahead of Ben Horner, Addison Smith, Jack Burgess, Callum Foster, Michael Ambler, Daniel Parsons. We are waiting for the number 11 of Tyler Lee to come round the last couple of corners or so. So Tyler Lee very shortly will be heading in. And there is number 11. That's it. 18 drivers started the race 18 drivers finished. There's Tyler Lee, but it's Lucas Blanford that wins the race, and the third final in a row this season by 3.116 seconds.